Hello, and welcome to Paranormal in Pennsylvania.
Where we discuss history and haunts.
And today, discussing the end of Season 1.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Erica.
I'm David.
Let's get into it. Okay, so Season 1. Guys, we are here. 25 episodes, 25 different haunted places.
I know, I can't believe it's been 25 weeks. That's crazy to me.
I can't either.
Really kind of puts in perspective when you say 25 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
25 episodes, doesn't feel like much to me, but 25 weeks.
Right, we started
Ooh.
this in October.
Oh my god, it's been like half a year.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I know. And to think that we just decided to do this one day.
I know.
We've discovered so many cool places, had so many good discussions. What was everybody's favorite episode of Season 1?
Well, I guess since everybody's looking at me in the room currently, I'm going to start us out. I think my favorite episode, oh man, it might have been Fort Mifflin.
Okay, why was that your favorite?
I really enjoyed you had multiple tiers of history that happened there. So starting from the Revolutionary War, Civil War, and then World War I, World War II kind of afterthoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that this place had so much history, and then so many different hauntings. And as we learned in a recent research, there's something called a layered haunting. And that is definitely what this is, where different time zones of history or different eras of ghosts are haunting the same location, but apparently have no interaction.
Yeah, that was a cool episode. What about you, Erica?
I really do think that Pitt was my favorite. I debated for a bit between the Yule Monsters because of how fun that episode was and Pitt, but I think Pitt because it's so close to us and I didn't even know that there were hauntings there.
Really?
Yeah, I made it through all of college without knowing. I had no idea. So to learn that the American Room was haunted and then the ghosts that were there, just again, what we've talked about before, just living their life in that room, I thought was cool.
Remind me again, what was your major?
Oh, it was history.
Uh-huh. Doing that proud, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, now I'm a paralegal. I mean, I don't use that at all.
Wow, that was so shady.
No, but for real, I had no idea.
I'm just surprised. I felt like I knew so much about the hauntings there. My favorite was Casket Girls, for sure. I just thought that it was so unique, and that's the one where I was actually, scared. And maybe it's because I had recently gone there when we had done the podcast, but that's where I was, scared to engage with the space. I think that's the only place I said I wouldn't go.
Yeah, for me, Casket Girls was a solid mid-tier. Joking, it was actually my second favorite. Mainly because the stories behind it were actually quite terrifying.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like in a lot of the places we've talked about, there haven't been instances where actual people have been hurt.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. And then the way that they were hurt is not a way that a human could have possibly hurt them. I think that was the scariest part for me.
Right, because how many episodes did we actually have where somebody was injured? What comes to my mind was Casket Girls, Eerie.
The vampires.
Right.
In
The
Eerie.
two vampire episodes.
Yeah.
We asked our followers what their favorites were, and we got the top 3 were Dixmont State Hospital, Fort Mifflin, and Casket Girls.
That makes sense.
Dixmont was cool.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah.
And we actually spoke with the creator of the Batties, which is a Pittsburgh spooky clothing brand, and they used to work on the land there, which was super cool to get to talk to someone that's local and actually, experienced it there.
Yeah, any first person accounts
Yeah.
are always so interesting to hear.
So what do you guys think was the spookiest episode?
I feel like I know your answer, but...
I'm not going to say Casket Girls again.
Okay. You can lie to yourself, that's okay.
I think the the spookiest that wasn't Casket Girls for me was Jim Thorpe with the handprint on the wall. That was the first time that I was really like, holy crow, this is crazy.
Yeah, remind me, Jim Thorpe, where was that?
It's a jail.
Right.
Jim Thorpe is the name of the town.
Ah, okay.
Jim Thorpe.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. For me, honestly, I think Dixmont State Hospital with the vampire tomb.
Wait,
Because
Dixmont doesn't have a vampire?
does it not? What am I
Erie?
thinking? Oh my god, yes.
Okay.
See, I edited those at the same time. So that I think is why I got them mixed up. Okay, so yes, Erie Cemetery with the vampire tomb. Because I started looking it up afterwards. I was even going to include a picture on our Instagram picture, but I couldn't find any free use ones. So I didn't, but they're terrifying looking. And I don't know how anyone decided to climb it.
Right.
Or to even get near it. So I think that one just was so scary to me, to think that even being in proximity, messing with these things would cause such drastic measures.
Don't disrespect vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I really liked about that episode was the witches circle of graves.
Yeah, that is cool. I would like to go see that at some point. But what was your spookiest episode, David?
My spookiest episode was probably the episode you refused to admit is your number one. Casket Girls.
It's just a good story.
Yes.
Line. And I think there's so much love for vampires, I feel, in pop culture, that's why the storylines of the vampire ones are so intense to me. And also, for other places, we talk about all of the ghosts in the area, so we don't really dig into one specific person normally. I mean, Fort Mifflin, we go into the headless guy, but other than that, we just talk in general about the people. But the vampires, we get specific. So I think maybe that's the difference, because that's also the allure of the witch story, right? We could get more specific with it.
Right.
Yeah, I think also, though, from the information we were given, that there's a active, thriving vampire culture, or people that claim to be vampires, in NOLA as well, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So there are apparently some hidden blood bars there. That was told to us as well. I don't know if that's true, because we never did the research to see.
Because I don't need to go. I don't need to make anyone angry.
Yeah.
I feel like even when we record, we're always and we're doing this with the most respect possible.
Yes. Yeah, because the thought of disturbing or disrespecting one of these entities is terrifying. Not only would I not want to do it just because that's a terrible thing to do, also, I'd like to live a happy life. I don't want to have a curse over me.
Yeah.
Something else that I guess from an episode that I really enjoyed the idea of, which the mention of curse is what made me think of this, is Fort Mifflin, with the individual that took was it a rock from the parking lot?
Yes.
Or took an object from it, and so many bad things or negative things were happening to him or her. They sent it back in a box saying, please put this back in the parking lot as soon as possible, which to me indicates more of a curse. I said it in the podcast, and I'd be really intrigued to see what could happen. So Erica, we're going to go there, and I'll put a rock in your bag, and then
I'm ready.
We'll test it out.
I'm ready. Honestly, though, I think that person got really lucky, because Sarah, didn't you say that when they mailed it back, it stopped?
Yeah.
I am surprised it stopped. Does
Me
that
too.
make sense?
Yeah.
Really?
So-
I believe that. I don't know, I guess Pirates of the Caribbean made me believe this, where when you return all the pieces of Cortez, the curse stops.
Ah, okay.
So you're returning the item that does not belong.
Right. That does make sense.
Yeah.
I have to get postage stamps in preparation for you cursing me.
Oh, you think there's just one rock?
There's multiple.
But I think it's the person that takes the rock that gets cursed, not the holder of the rock, right? Because so much of it is about intention.
Yeah, that, I mean,
True.
yeah, so it would be very interesting to see.
Let's not test it.
I
Yeah.
mean, yes, obviously not actually test it, but things like that are very intriguing as to what are the necessary, I guess, for lack of a better term, triggers for the curse.
See, I feel like you always want to push it, though. And, like, I live with you, so I'd love you not to push it. Erica and I are going to get apart it.
No, so I won't actually, push it and commit and do it, but it's interesting to kind of discuss, things like cursed objects or other paranormal things of like, so what actually like causes you to be the receiving end of this negative stuff.
That's true. Yeah, because again, I know I've been talking a lot about that ghost book that I read, but I read it for the podcast so that I could have more information. And part of what it said is everybody thinks that they're haunted by like a poltergeist or something. Like they think that it's something trying to scare them. But most ghosts are benign, is what it was saying. Like they're just there. So to have these really strong responses, like the Fort Mifflin Stone or the vampires, it deviates from the norm that we see.
Sure.
That's good to know.
But even in, oh man, one of the hospitals, I forget its name, but as I start saying this, you'll probably be able to tell me which one it is. The toy. What is it, the toy?
Penhurst.
At
Yes.
Penhurst, yes. That if you mess with a toy, the ghost mess with you.
Right. Simple rule.
And I wonder too if like taking anything from, for example, like the rocks from Fort Mifflin, what if like every object is associated with like a spirit and they
Oh.
get pulled with you? I don't know. I mean, because they took rocks and those seem so inconsequential.
Mhm.
But, what if like you take a valuable item and the spirit just kind of gets dragged along with the item?
Right. Yeah, like you never know the meaning that something has.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think it was a great season. We actually went to or had been to 14 out of 25 places.
That's great.
So well over 50%, which is good.
Yes.
My goal for season 3 or season 2, season 3. I'm jumping ahead. Season 3.
Foreplanning. I like it.
Yes.
My goal for season 2 is to actually go to more places. I know that we have a lot of places on the docket that are nearby where we can travel to, and I think it's really cool, especially when we get to go as a group, like Church Brew Works.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I second the idea that going to haunted breweries is a very good idea.
David's like, let's redo Iron Hill, let's redo Church Brew Works.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are great ideas. I love it. Keep them coming.
Yeah. There's actually, we could go over the podcast list, like the idea list after this, but there are a few taverns on it.
Ooh, I'd like
Those
to go
sound
to
fun.
a tavern.
Yeah.
I've wanted to go to a Renaissance fair for so long now and like dress up in Renaissance garb.
Well, one of our friends, I'm not going to say their name on the podcast, is having a Renaissance barmaid themed 30th birthday party.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's
you
so
should
fun.
come to that. I'm sure that they would be fine to invite you because you know them. I'm just not
Yeah.
going to say their name.
Yeah, fair.
So haunted taverns, definitely a plus for
Yes.
sure.
Season 2, the tour of haunted taverns.
Yes.
No. But what are your guys' goals for season 2? What are you excited about?
That's a good question. I think, you know what my goal is? This might be too analytical, but I think my goal is to like expand our social media presence.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool to be able to like do things on TikTok, and Twitter's kind of going downhill, but other social media sites. I think that would be really awesome to like extend our reach a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to connect with other people in the space and meet these cool people that are interested. Like I know that there was the Pittsburgh Ghost Tours just came out with their own podcast. I can't remember what it's called, but we followed them and now they follow us, and it's like it's cool to hear what other people in the space are doing and make those connections.
Yes, like there's that odd Pittsburgh Instagram too that I love so much. It would be so
Yeah.
cool. They have so many historical references on their page is just so interesting.
Yeah. What about you, David? Any goals for season 2?
Well, I now no longer want to answer the question after Erica's great idea. So I had a joke goal, but now I have to be serious. So
He's like, seriously, taverns.
Actually, I was gonna make a beer joke, but no, my actual goal for season 2 would be, how else in technology could I better improve both audio and other aspects of the podcast?
I thought you were going to talk about how could you better understand the ghost technology, which would also be something cool for you to do.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That sounds like a fun idea.
Gotta play to our strengths.
Yes, because I do clickety clacks for a living, therefore I must know all technology. Yeah.
Another thing that I'm excited for in season 2 is to expand even more, since we focused in 23 of our episodes on ghosts. People really liked vampires and witches, and I'm excited to expand to aliens. And we did poll our followers to ask what their favorite entity to hear about was, and witches came in first, then ghosts and vampires were tied, and then aliens. So I think it'll be cool to maybe look for some more witchy stuff and then tie in some other things other than ghosts, because ghosts aren't the only paranormal thing.
That's true. That would be really cool.
Like demons. I hear those demons. Demons, I hear, are very popular these days.
Demons are terrifying.
I know, I'm like, that might
But
be too much for me.
Yeah, I don't know if we have to go visit the demon.
Yeah.
Please, no.
Yeah, that's separate from my goal to actually go to more places.
That's an anti-goal for me. I do not want to visit any demons.
What not to do. Yeah. Any other final reflections as we close out season 1?
This was more fun than I thought it was going to be. And I also thought that figuring out the initial technology setup was going to be a nightmare. That was actually not too much of a challenge.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely more fun than I thought. Like, I went into it knowing it was going to be super interesting, but each week that we do stuff, it's so fun.
Yeah.
And so cool. And I'm really looking forward to traveling more places together. That'll be really awesome.
And what I like about it is we're all really good friends anyways. We're all interested in this anyways. Definitely David, I would say less so, but you've gotten into it over the past 6 years. And so it feels really authentic in the way that we do it. Like, we don't edit out like silly mistakes, like saying security guide, or what was it?
Tour guard.
Tour guard over and over. We try to keep it as authentic to us as we can, and we're genuinely just having fun.
Yeah.
I love it. I love recording nights.
Yes, I know, me too. They're so fun.
Any final thoughts before we wrap on the season 1 wrap?
I am also very happy with how far along we've come. So I'm not saying that our first episodes were poopy, but we are certainly far better than we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
So if you watch the first episode and you're like, man, that was so good, imagine just how good they are now, right? Yeah.
No one can see me, but I'm doing the, I don't know how to explain it. Rock on would be the closest thing.
I don't know. Yeah, I think the way that we research and the way that we discuss things has advanced as the podcast has advanced. So I'm excited to see what season 2 has to offer. I almost said season 3 again.
A haunted tavern.
A haunted
Yes.
Many haunted taverns.
Start doing my own research. Oh, look at all these haunted beer places.
Go ahead. Add them to the list. You have access.
And this distillery, they have ghosts too.
Winery.
Yeah. Oh, I bet there are haunted wineries in Pennsylvania.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening to season 1 and our season 1 recap. We cannot wait to see you next week at the start of season 2. Stay spooky.
Spooky.